Hello and welcome to Third Eye Thinkers. I'm your host, Michelle Welch.
Hello, I'm your host, Megan Benanti. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Hey, Happy New Year.
I was going to say Happy New Year.
How are you doing?
Fabulous. So, and you?
I'm doing well, really well, yeah.
Have you already made steps to bring in the new year?
Some.
Yeah.
I guess. What about you?
I woke up and was like all over it.
Yeah.
Paying bills, getting ready for the new year, want to see, what I owe on the house and, just dive right in.
It's interesting because Roger and I were talking about this. The fact that we do kind of what we want to do. We live our life daily anyway. Mm-hmm. So when all these monumental things come up, I feel like we live our life that way anyway. It's like if we need to adjust, we try to adjust. I do think it's good to have a time to reflect and look back and pause. But I do that because we do the new moons, we do the full moons. So I feel like we do it all year long.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just really excited for 2019. I don't know why. I remember when 2017 ended, I was very excited because that was one of those tough years. 2018 wasn't bad. It was good for me. Hey, we started Third Eye Thinkers.
That's right.
And but I've been pretty excited about what 2019 is going to bring.
I am too. And I think I am just globally, internationally. I think that it will be interesting.
Yeah.
Because I think it has been a tough year for some people.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we're going to deal with today is bringing in 2019. So go ahead.
Here we go. So we had decided to make today be a time to deliver for you messages that we receive, intuitive messages. Some of you have already texted in questions, but if not, you can, we're live now, and you can go to, and Matt, you want to help us out? You can go to Facebook, Soultopia, Tarot Dallas, or to Real News.
Real News Communications Network.
Okay, so if you're watching us live and you want to comment, or if you have a question, and if you don't have a specific question, just tell us you would like a reading, and we'll give you a general reading.
Yep.
Fair enough. And we're going to keep them pretty brief to get through as many as possible, and we probably should get started.
Yeah, and we've gotten a lot ahead of time, so again, they will be brief. We'll do a couple of cards and a charm and see what we can get and give you that. So.
And I will say this, as we always do, both of us have set our intentions. I know I saw Megan doing it right before the show, and I did on the way here. We've set our intentions ahead of time for these readings to be for your highest and best good. Mm-hmm. And at least that's how I put it. Megan may put it another way. But all the ritual things we do, we have done before beginning our readings.
Yeah,
or before the show began.
I say the same thing. So okay. that works out perfect.
Okay, so here we go.
Okay. First question. Maxim.
All right. Kay Williams says, "Hi, Megan. A friend referred me to your page. I would love a New Year's reading. And her question was, what is the one area of my life that I should focus on most in the new year?" And then she says, "Thank you."
Okay, great. All right. All right. You want to pick 3 there? Or pick 2 and a charm?
I think we're just going to do 2.
Yep.
Why don't you pick 1 too, Megan?
Okay.
Pick 1.
Okay, and you want to grab a charm out of there?
Mm-hmm. All right, here we go.
Okay.
What is that? Oh, okay.
And tell me her name again, Max?
Kay Williams.
Kay Williams. Okay. So.
Okay, Kay.
The first thing I'm getting is, Kay, it's time for you to clean out the house. And that's going to be going into the new year for you. You are ready for some big change and kind of really, you're going to be one of those people that had to let go of 2018. And there's also, I really want you to focus on clear communication with the significant man in your life right now. I feel like that's something that you've got some gap, like a gap to bridge there. And once you kind of get through this, that's when things are going to begin to smooth out for you.
Yes, Kay, I feel the same thing. I feel like there is something that probably has already been percolating that is going to come and that you're going to deal with probably at the beginning of this year. I think the sooner you deal with it, the better. And I do believe it does. I guess the way I will put it too is it involves some communication with a man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll put it like that.
Yeah, and I love what you said, that it's been percolating for a while, because I do pick up that with that kind of old spooky house there too.
Yeah, it's something that's it's been weighing on you. So I think it's what will 2019 have for me. I would say the sooner that you begin that process, the better.
Yep, that'll help you with that transition. So, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Next question, Maxim.
All right. Kelly Sims is wondering if she can get a general reading.
Okay, Kelly Sims.
And just so you guys know, we had you ahead of time in case we do this again. You, same places. You posted on Soultopia. You posted on my private Facebook, Megan's Tarot Dallas, and Real News. So that's where we're getting these from, in case you're wondering. And then I posted out all of our stuff to a lot of groups.
Oh, yeah.
Different groups.
Yeah.
So, okay.
All
What's
right.
the question? Again?
General read. For,
Okay.
Was it Kelly Sims? I'm sorry.
Yes, Kelly Sims.
Kelly.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
What is that?
it's a pony, I think. Or is it a deer?
I don't know. It looks little to me, though.
Oh, it's a deer. It's a
deer.
baby deer.
Oh.
Um,
No.
I feel like you've got a big decision, but part of this is going to be about family. And I really feel like, honestly, the first 6 months of this year is going to be kind of a focus on dealing with family issues, because this is spreading out into a broader, it's going to spread out more than you think it did, and it's going to affect you in bigger ways than maybe you were initially anticipating. And I do feel like you might get some pushback from a young person in your life. They're trying to find their own way, and it's not, they might not be handling it in the best way possible, and so they might be pushing you away in a way that makes you feel like, oh God, did I really do this wrong? You know, and I don't think that you did. I just feel like this is part of their growth process.
I would say that, just tagging onto that, that it feels like you have a situation, Kelly, where there is, and it feels relational to me too. Maybe family, but relationship oriented. And it does involve someone younger, maybe a child of yours, but where perhaps the child and work and your relationship, and you're trying to balance those three things and to figure out how that's going to work. And I don't mean, oh, am I a stay-at-home mom? I just mean there's something about the child being in between, maybe not coming in between. I don't mean it that way, but where you're trying to figure out the relationship, how that fits with your child or a child or someone younger, and your work is what I'm getting.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And there's also an aspect of really, to me, keeping that sense of innocence and playfulness and wanting to still really embrace that in this young person. And I don't think I think you should. I think you should still embrace that, but also acknowledge that they're at a point where they're taking some responsibility for some of their own actions. And that's sometimes not very pretty, but part of what has to happen.
Yeah,
so.
that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next question.
Lorraine Dylone is wondering if she can also have a general reading.
Maureen, you said?
Yes, Lorraine.
Lauren.
Lauren. Okay, we'll get
Lorraine.
Yeah, Lorraine.
Okay. Lorraine.
Lorraine. Okay, we got Lorraine. All right. Will you pick a charm there? And
That's an interesting thing, because a lot of people always say, do you have to have my name and exactly in order to get a reading? And I don't. I'm sorry, I didn't pick the charm. And no, I actually don't. But sometimes I just like to know the name. We pick that a lot, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what that is reversed. Okay.
Same as Nine of Pentacles.
Yeah, and I just couldn't see it.
Would you like to go first?
Yeah. Actually, no.
Okay.
I'm still.
Right now, it's interesting. There's been a lot of kind of family-based on that we've seen starting out on this. But of course, everybody's been very triggered with family issues with holiday season.
Right.
So to me, we're looking at a little bit of insecurity. And a part of this might be kind of work-related, but I do feel like the situation might be a little more delicate than you have to be conscientious about how you handle it, I think. And then, but I do find like you're also trying to really see it for what it is and not have any illusions about it. And then I feel like this other card is kind of is a whole separate situation. Myself, but I feel like there's a young person that you might not want to hear what they have to say, but there's a lot of meaning in their words right now. And I do think there is a message that you need to take away from that, even if you don't want to hear it or it's not presented well. That's what I'm getting. What about you, Michelle?
It's not opposed to that. It's just something a little different on the first card. It feels as though you were expecting something, either at the end of the year or maybe at the beginning of this year, that you are still expecting it. And it feels like it's financially related and that you may be a little bit disappointed. And that you may need to go into a time of really meditating about what didn't go exactly the way you wanted it to go. It does feel financially related to me. Material, at least material things, maybe having to do with work, as you mentioned, but maybe a little different. I'm not sure. And then I'll just say that I would go really inward and really do some writing if you're able to do that. And I don't tell everybody to do that because a lot of people just don't like to journal, but I really feel it's going to help you kind of mull over what's going on with this. It just feels like some disappointment. It is delicate.
Yeah,
that's what I'll say.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I will tell you guys that I'm not referring to this specifically, but when we are on air, I get a lot of specifics. I know you do too, Megan. We will try to keep it not too, we're not going to be too general. We'll try to give you specifics. But if we get something that seems like really sensitive to work or something really specific, that is a time, honestly, to follow up with appointments or things like that. Because on the air, I'm not going to go way into big details.
I would totally agree with that.
Private details, yeah.
Yeah, because I do find I'm like being conscientious that, this is a public forum and what I want to...
what we want to say.
Yeah.
But we'll say if you agreed to it, if it's a general, we'll keep it pretty general. If it's specific, yes, you said you wanted that question answered, and we will go for it and we will answer it. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Next question, Maxim.
All right.
Yeah.
Asia Man says, "Hello. May I please have a reading if you are drawn? Please and thank you so much."
Oh,
nice.
That's polite.
I love good manners. That makes me so happy. Okay.
Really good charm here for that.
Okay. Did we get a new one?
We did.
Oh, we got a pentacle. How about that? And okay, so temperance.
Okay.
No? 8.
No, that's it. In most decks, that's the strength.
Really? Strength is adjustment, though?
Unless it's like the old decks where they reverse the 8 and the 11, which would be justice. But I'm going to go with that as strength.
Okay. It's definitely about balance to me, though.
But that seems like it'd be justice,
I was like,
doesn't
I
it?
think this is justice.
So you know how they will reverse the 8 and the 11.
Yeah. Oh, so this deck is called the New Era?
New Era Elements.
New Era Elements.
It's really cool.
Phenomenal deck, but it's very different, and there's no relying on your on traditional meanings. It's
That's
like
okay.
Gut instinct all the way on this.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I'll go first on this one.
Okay.
So whether that is the justice or the strength, both are involved here to me. I feel like there's a situation for you where you are literally this person is walking with. There's something probably traditional to this. There's probably some meaning I don't know about as far as the cups or jars on her head, and then she's walking across a tightrope and she's holding a pole for balance. And I feel like you have been trying to balance and trying to maybe walk this world. It's difficult for you sometimes to walk between the materialistic and the spiritual. But then the Pentacles comes up that shows me that we really I'm going to invite you to get more into your body in 2019. It seems like you're really going up into your spirituality and a bit of a guru feeling, a bit of an ascended master feeling with you, but you're being called to be more in your body for this 2019 to help others. And I'm not going to even get to the next card because of time. I'm going to let you take it from there.
And what I was going to say with that, don't be disappointed. Our spiritual life is really important, but it is also extremely important to honor your body and to pay attention and know what it needs at a given time. And I'm feeling like there's a part of you that's like, oh no, I want to be in the spiritual realm and I want to connect in this way. And you can still do all that, but I think there needs to be, you need to get really practical in 2019. And a little bit tying in with financial nature, but I think very much about physical body in particular.
Really grounded into this physical body that you've been given for this incarnation.
Yep.
They say, hey, you picked it, take care of it. So I don't know. But yeah, don't try to escape the experience that you have signed up to have here on earth. By escape, by that I mean just going up into the clouds all the time, into the spiritual realm. This is spiritual too.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Maxim?
Martha Graves is wondering if she'll move to another location.
Okay.
That's pretty specific.
Yeah. Yep. So let's see what we see about a new location for Arthur, you said?
Martha, yes.
Martha. Okay. Sorry.
Martha Graves.
Ooh.
So this is a little turtle.
Okay. So maybe moving slowly.
Maybe.
Take your time. No rush. Okay. Ooh.
Pretty.
Okay. So the first thing I was getting on that, is it okay if I dive in?
Oh, go, please.
Really, to me, this is trusting your intuition and really what you want here. I don't feel like you're going to go wrong as long as you feel like it's in alignment with kind of what you want long term. I would take the time to think it through. And I think that you need to let go of any fear of failure, that this could be a bad decision for you. I think that you can really make this happen. You just need to kind of make a plan and prepare for it. And that the only thing that's going to hold you back is your fear that somehow you won't be successful with that. And you just need to trust you are not going to let yourself drown. If you move and find a new location, you will build a new life. That's how people do it,
So I kind of turned it into maybe what will it look like if I do move. I do agree that you need to take your time in making the decision, not just because of that little turtle there, it's so cute, but also just because of this High Priestess card that shows up. You are good at going inward for answers and inward reflection. Do that. It feels to me that if you make a hasty decision, you will be disappointed. I believe don't take the first thing that comes along. I feel like if I'm getting that if you're going to move, it's going to be later in the year. And it's still, there's some free will decisions still in it. But right now I'm getting, it's not time yet.
I would agree with that it's not something you're going to do in the first 6 months. It would be the second part of the year for sure. Because it is, the High Priestess is you need to take the time to think about this.
Yeah, it just seems like take your time and do not be hasty. And the positive in that is that when you do decide, if that happens, I feel like you're going to know it. So do not settle.
Cool.
With your decision. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Mr. Maxim, next question.
Harry Mayweather would love any spiritual direction or guidance on her spiritual, financial, or martial path for the 2019.
Okay. And you say the name again, Mary?
Carrie.
Carrie Mayweather?
Yes.
Okay.
Well.
Oh, nice.
So we got a little
dollar bill?
It's $1 or $100. I don't know, but I'll look at it like $100.
Yeah, we'll take it as 100. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we got the Empress reversed and Son of Earth.
Okay, so I'm going to go first on this one.
Yeah.
The question was interesting to me, the way you worded it. you asked for, if I recall, for spiritual direction on, and then you named a variety of matters, including, if I'm correct, I may not be, but this is what I'm remembering, financial matters. Just, it seems like the worldly matters. So we're going back to that. How do you connect the spiritual with because it seemed you were very deliberate in your question about that. And for me, I do believe, and don't hear me say that I don't believe in structure, but I do believe it seems as though you are, here we are trying to make goals and make plans. Sometimes we just need to surrender. And I'm feeling like for you, it feels really, the energy of it is one of surrendering to the higher good and what's best for you, and don't try to figure it out. Now, that's pretty funny when we said ask us a question, right? But it really does. It just feels like just let it be for a while. Just stop trying to make everything go just the way you may expect that it's supposed to go.
I would agree with that, and adding on to it, so winter is the dormancy period, and just because the trees don't have leaves, it doesn't mean that they're not growing. Those roots are spreading farther, and the branches are actually growing longer. And so I feel like this is a time of where you're going to you need to let yourself grow naturally, and not force it. It's also a bit of, slowing down, stopping to breathe the air that comes in. I don't feel like you have to push yourself so hard financially this year. That already, there's a comfort level that exists in your life, and you can probably maintain that. You don't have to push for growth. That can happen on its own. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Okay.
Yes. Very good.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question, please.
Jennifer Covarrubias says, I'd love to hear any guidance on what the first part of the year is bringing. Thank you.
Okay.
So hi, Jennifer. And I just want to say, you guys, when it's on me, I've never said this before, but Matt, I don't even know if I've told you this, but you may wonder when you go to people, if they close their eyes, or their eyes roll back in their head, or they just look at you and they just seem like they're talking to you like a normal person, right? I do close my eyes often when I channel. So, and I don't know if I've ever said that on here before. So if it's on, the camera's on me and I close my eyes, that is often what just sort of my tell that I'm in quite a bit of a channeling state for me. I may not look, they're not going to roll back in my head or anything. I promise.
No, yeah.
I don't think. Okay. But it's interesting because I've always wondered that before, like, how do different people read and why do they look the way they do? So once I finally told people that I was a reader and kind of came out of the closet to a lot of my friends, they were like, oh, that makes a lot of sense, because you always close your eyes and you feel like you go off somewhere. So that's what I'm doing. All right. So I forgot the question now from Jennifer.
She wanted to know about the first part of the year.
Okay. Do you have it since I was rambling?
Yeah, actually, I feel like it looks like you're going to fall in love. We don't get to see this too often, but you've got a good partnership here. And we've got Father of Earth, so King of Pentacles traditionally. This person gets you, and that's what I really see is it's like you can see a reflection of yourself in him. And I feel like he's willing to do what it takes to make things work with you as well. And we also have the Om symbol. And so there's a sense of balance. There's a sense of like working together in a way that that flows and feels comfortable. It's not a push-pull, but it's more like a dance. And I feel like this could be a good connection. Now, if this isn't falling in love, it's certainly going to feel like a really positive partnership for you. So that could be business as well. But I feel like this is going to be a really valuable person, like a precious person in your life.
Very good. I got something a tad bit different. So it'll be interesting to look back at how these tie together for you, Jennifer. For the seahorses, which I believe these are, seahorses, they have role reversal. is my understanding. So men kind of take on, don't men carry the babies? Yeah. So men carry the babies with seahorses. And so I'm seeing these seahorses, and they are in this beautiful dance. And then I'm seeing this probably King of Pentacles with the Om in between. And to me, it's feeling like it's all going to come together for you. You have been playing both roles, I believe. And I think what Megan said, that resonates to a certain extent with me, that I'm not sure it's potentially that you know this person yet, is what I'm getting. And it feels as though someone will come in and help you not have to carry all the roles.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that would be very good for her.
Yeah.
So that's fascinating about the horses, the
Right?
seahorses. I had no idea.
Well, it's a fact.
Wow.
I'm joking. If it's not, I just made it one. No, it is.
If not, it worked for the reading.
It worked
right?
for the reading. I correct us if we're wrong, but I believe that seahorses are fascinating creatures.
That
And
is
they're
super
so
cool.
pretty, too.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next one, Maxim?
Carrie Mayweather says, on the path to my highest good, what career, financial, or travel guidance is Spirit bringing forth for me in 2019?
I thought we already did that one.
Oh, maybe we did. Yeah.
I think we did that one.
Yep. Maybe skip down a couple. We've got about 5 minutes, and I'm sure we have more questions than we can get through.
Jessica Schwartz says, what do I need to focus on in 2019? Thank you.
Okay, let's do
Wanna-
one card for
Okay.
focus. One
card.
focus and one. How does that feel to you?
Oh, wow. Okay.
What is this thing?
What'd you get?
Oh, it's a peacock.
And we got the Devil in reverse. And this is letting go. And I have to say, part of this might be kind of letting go of vanity.
I'm just going to have to agree with it.
Yeah.
We all have something. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go
Because I
ahead.
just cut you off. I was just so on that with you. I agree. And we all have something, some vanity, something we have to let go of. But I feel like this is your year of strutting your stuff in a way, in a positive way, coming into your own, but also letting go of some things that absolutely do not feel like they serve you.
Yeah, and I also am just seeing, too, that I think you've got some belief systems that you're going to really keep looking at until you realize what isn't working about them. And because there's a lot of things, a lot of like core belief systems I'm seeing that you've got here. And a peacock's tail is full of eyes. And so that gives you a whole lot of different perspectives. And I really think you're going to take some time to start figuring out, okay, what isn't serving me here? Because you do not want to be weighted down by any of this anymore.
Right. Well said.
Okay.
What's next, Maxim?
Linda McKenney asks, what changes do I need to make in my career path? I've finally learned to say no at work that doesn't pay. And how do I gain financial freedom?
Okay, that's pretty loaded.
We got a squirrel on a branch. Grab a card.
Squirrel on a branch. That's when I grab them.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'm looking at the squirrel on a branch.
You know, it's interesting. So we have the tower here, and we have, and in this tower, the wall is coming down as well, it looks like. But when you think about a squirrel on a branch, squirrels are jump from branch to branch, and they really are not afraid of taking a fall. There is an inherent trust that they will land on something and save themselves. And I really feel that going into this year, this is going to be your year where you trust that you are going to no matter if it takes a little scampering or, moving really quickly, you're going to land on your feet. And so whatever it is that you are looking at changing, you've known this was coming and that you need to do it, and you're really ready. You're prepared.
Right. I think for whatever comes your way, I want to say for you in 2019, have a safety net. It's there already, And I know that I feel from your question, you're like, okay, please let me gain financial independence in 2019. You have what you need. I still think you need the safety net. I'm not going to say yank that away. So for me, it feels like there's this branch here and then this thing somebody's holding here. And I feel like whatever is thrown your way in 2019, you're like, oh no, not more thrown at me. Yeah, I feel like there's going to be some more thrown at you. But this time, it is okay to have a plan B, and I feel like you need to get one in place. So instead of being like, okay, my plan A is, it's so exciting, I'm going to do this, and it's so risky, I still think you need that something solid to rely on in order to go for what it is you're truly wanting to go for. So I go for it, but also have a plan B.
And I do agree with Michelle as I'm looking at this. There's people in there helping out with a giant piece of wood that can create a bridge. And so she's right, that backup could be really significant for you. So.
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Okay. Matt, do we have time for one more?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Okay. Mr. Maxim?
Arlene Crail asks, what changes do you see involving my career this year?
Okay, well, she got a witch hat.
Oh, that's a cute little hat.
We all love a witch hat, right?
Darling.
Oh, and the chariot. You want to go?
Okay. Ooh. You're in charge. You hold the reins. I feel like there's movement forward with your career, and just grab that, all the opportunities that you can. Here's the specific thing I'm getting for you. You hold the reins. Don't give them off to anybody else. Don't hand them off to anybody else regarding your career. You need to make the decision. And in those situations, I feel like this is kind of interesting, because in those situations where somebody is treating you like you're the witch, it's a different way I'm looking at the witch hat. Okay, I'm looking at as, the way a lot of people, the backwards connotation of witch, of they're saying, oh, I don't. They're giving you a hard time, and you've been given a hard time in the past on your career path, and it's time for you now to say, I'm taking charge of this. I've got both of the reins. I'm keeping it steady, and I'm in control of it. And I think this is your year to get in control of it. I do see you going back to work or going to work.
Okay, gotcha. And I was going to say, I felt like this hat is like the boss hat, and that you're going to wear it with pride this year. This particular chariot image is a little chaotic, and I want you to be prepared for that, when you go into this situation, one, you don't want to bulldoze everybody, but that things are going to happen quickly. It might feel a little bit, it might on the outside appear out of control, but I want you to really trust yourself that you know what direction you need to go, and that you can really drive right through this and be okay with it, because you are going to be in much more of a leadership in charge position with your life and how you're feeling. So, all right, guys.
So we have a lot, I'm sure, that we didn't get to. First, I'll thank Maxim. Maxim has helped us today, and this is Megan's son. Thank you, Maxim, so much for doing all this for us and making it so easy. I think we save maybe for our readings for next time. Maybe we pull and do, perhaps take a couple if we want to, that we didn't get to, if there were specific questions.
Oh, yeah,
potentially.
that'd be great.
Yeah, if we didn't get to you guys. One of the good things that you can do is just, if you'll always listen, we do readings on every show, pretty much every show unless we have a guest. So we would really appreciate you tuning in live and joining us in the chat room, or just commenting and chatting, and we can try to check those as much as possible.
Yes, and we have done a lot of collective reading, but now that we have more people chiming in, we will be happy to take questions and ask.
Absolutely.
We really want to be here to serve you guys in the way that, meets the audience's needs. So whatever works for y'all as well.
Right. All right, we better wrap it up.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us today. Keep Third Eye Thinking, and don't forget to subscribe to us on any of the podcast channels or on YouTube. Special thanks to our producer, Matt Stoker, our social media assistant, Cassie Clayton, and our intern for the day, Maxim Benanti.
I love it.
And you guys keep third eye thinking. Bye.